Hello, hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. So, I am enjoying my space and my outdoor space uh, for the last, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm enjoying the space that God has blessed me to live in, as well as be successful in and prosperous in, regardless uh, of what energies and individuals have been directed towards me, whether near or far. I'm enjoying this space once again, and I am wrapping up my time here. But I wanted to get some videos out, enter some content. When I say content, it's not the word I want to use. Some truths. I want to get some truths out. And God is continually showing me um, the tricks of the devil, what the devil has done, what his minions have done against me, towards me, what their goal was for me. He has continuously showed me, uh, and I'm talking about over a decade ago, things from over a decade ago, things from, close to 20 years ago, even 30 years ago, certain people, energies rather. And one of the things that I noticed and or picked up on was the fact that the competition between individuals, just being in the gay or homosexual area of town, I would say community, but yeah, let's say community, being in the gay community, the homosexual community, and seeing different energies, different attitudes, the arrogance within that community. It's a hell of a lot more present in that community than in the heterosexual community. I'm not saying that it's not bad. I'm saying it's a hell of a lot more present, a hell of a lot more noticeable, a hell of a lot more competitive, a hell of a lot more arrogant, a hell of a lot more degrading, debasing, the things that people will do in the homosexual community towards each other than in the heterosexual community. But the heterosexual community has learned and gained a lot from the homosexual community in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to arrogance and dominance. And when I tell you that what I'm about to speak on next is so real, it's so harsh, and it's so disgusting and disturbing. Let me express to you that I find this type of behavior, along with other behaviors, to be disgusting. And people like to talk about homosexuals and transgender and lesbians and their lifestyle is disgusting and what they engage in and so on and so forth. Well, I'm here to tell you that nowadays those within the heterosexual community are engaging in these behaviors, if not more than homosexuals, than equivalent to homosexuals. Um, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Anal sex is not disgusting. Anal sex is not disgusting. It's not disgusting. I know what you're saying. It's It's an exit. Well, there are a lot of exits in your body. Exit, enter. You input food into your mouth, right? Should you input a penis into your mouth? Should you input a vagina? What? Yeah, I said it. Yeah. You put nut in, right? A vagina. You may possibly get birth, a child out of it, but most people, not all people, but a lot of people don't even see that they'll get an abortion before they have a child. But they keep putting nut up in them, not wanting to have a child, but wanting to entrap a man so that they can get whatever they want, right? Let's get to some more truths. You have women, females, that are engaging in anal sex because they think that that is better and or safer for them than having vaginal intercourse that will reduce the risk of them getting pregnant. But then you also have these women that are engaging in anal sex a hell of a lot more nowadays because they're competing with either transgender women or with gay men. They figure that if they offer up their anal cavity to a man, that will gain them more popularity or more favor and or more interest from a man towards them. Yeah. So you have a lot of different things that people are engaging in order to gain for themselves, and they're not talking about love. They're not talking about love. They're talking about control. They're talking about control. So I just said those nasty, disgusting things, right? You know, women having and engaging in reckless and risky sex, along with the men engaging in risky, reckless sex with females, nutting in them, and then they end up getting knocked up, and then they don't want the child, so they have an abortion. Some people have had so many abortions, and the reason why they did what they did was because they were trying to gain for themselves. Just like women that have children that they really don't want to have in order to keep a man. You don't want the child. What ends up happening to that child that you have to raise because you want to try to keep a man or force a man to stay with you by having that child? But you have these same people that will look down their nose at homosexuals and transgender women. Let me talk to you about this. Do you know that in the homosexual community, I have been drugged? Do you know that I have been assaulted in the homosexual community? Do you know that I have been involved with people, whether in a friend or acquaintance relationship, where I was taken advantage of by those within the homosexual community, a community that is supposed to be loving and kind and welcoming and accepting? Do you know that there are men, older men usually, as well as younger men within the homosexual community that will set up someone coming in to the homosexual community, meaning someone that just recently came out, will set them up to be involved in gangbangs, to get involved in prostitution, to get involved in drug running, drugs, prostitution. You know, I'm not going to say that I was one of the lucky ones because I still had to deal with certain things within my own community, just as other people had to deal with certain things within the community. So we're bullied on the inside and we're bullied on the outside. We're in competition with people inside the community and we're seen as competition with people outside of the community. We are constantly, in a lot of ways, being subjected to evil and cruel tactics by people all around us. Whether they're straight, gay, or closeted. Yeah, because we're also bullied by closeted individuals that are jealous or envious that we decided to come out and live in our truth. So we're bullied.